So this is for VCP 218, 3D Intro to 3D Modeling and Animation. Basically what I'm going to do is what we did in class. It's just going to be a quick how to make a very simple animation as quickly as possible. First things first, whenever we start a new project, we have to make a new project folder. So to do that, I'm just going to go up to File, and I'm going to go Project Window, and I'm going to hit New, okay? And I'm just doing my last name. It's always good to start with your last name, underscore, and then we're going to call this bug animation, okay? And I'm going to hit this folder, and I'm going to tell it to go to the desktop. So it's good to save to the desktop, just that way you know where it is, and you can quickly put it on your thumb drive or put it on another computer. Good. So then we'll hit accept. Yay. All right. So I made a project window. Just to give you an idea, if I go on my desktop, you'll actually see here it is right here. Okay. And it has all these folders that it made automatically. Okay. So that wasn't there before, and now it is. Okay. So we're going to, basically I'm going to try and mimic to the best of my abilities the general animation production process. So the first thing, besides any pre-production, actual production would be to model things. Okay, so we are going to model a bug. Okay, so and an environment for the bug to be in. All right, so it's going to be really simple. So I'm going to go to polygons, and I'm going to make a plane for the grass. So I'm going to click on this button, and that will make a plane. See it there? And I'm going to scale it bigger, like so. Okay, so I hit R to scale, and then I grab the middle one. These will scale different ways. This is proportionate, okay? So proportionate scaling, you want to grab the middle. It'll be cyan when it's not selected. Whatever one's selected turns yellow. All right, I'm going to turn the grid off by clicking this little waffle here, and that gets rid of the grid. And I'm going to call that good for my grass, for my ground plane, okay? The next thing I'm going to do is make a tree, okay? So that it's a little more, it's not so plain. So to do that, a tree would be more or less, we're just doing things in simplified forms, would be more or less a cylinder. So I'll make the cylinder. There it is. And I'm going to pull it up here. And I am going to, now this will scale it as a whole, but I actually just want to scale it lengthways. So I'm just going to scale it lengthways. So I'm just going to grab the upper one. So I hit R to scale. And there you go. So there's the stump of the tree. And next what I want to do is just make the foliage above. At its most simple, we're just going to make a cylinder. So I'm going to click on cylinder. Boom. And I hit W for the move tool. I'm going to pull it up. Hit R for scale. And voila, there is a tree. It is a super great looking tree. I'm super excited about it. You should be too. Okay, so I'm gonna click on one, hold Shift, click on the other, so I have two selected. I'm gonna hit Control D or Command D if you're on a Mac, and I'm just gonna put one over here, and then I'm just gonna grab another one, Control D or Command D, and just to make sort of a forest. All right, so Control D, like so, Control D. All right, that looks adequate. Okay, take this and scale this a little bit larger too. R. Okay. Okay. So that looks pretty good. There's my trees, and the things there. So next I'm going to do is make my bug. Okay, so do it a bunch of different ways. I'm gonna do it in the simplest way possible. So I'm gonna say I'll make an ant. Okay, actually I'm gonna make an ant hill too. So to make an ant hill really would just be a cone, right? So I'm gonna make a cone. I'm gonna hit W to move it and pull it up forward. I'm gonna move this one so that every time I make stuff, it's not like in the way. Okay, so this will be our ant hill. I'm going to put it somewhat in the center there. All right, and I'm going to scale it big and then scale it shallow. Okay, so that's our ant hill. All right, so voila, ant hill. Now I'm going to make the actual ant. So to make the ant, it's going to be more or less a bunch of spheres, right? So I'm going to click a sphere. Let's pull this over here and pull it up a little bit. And I'm not going to worry about the size of it for now. So there's one, right? So ant typically has 3 sections. So I'm going to Control D and make that like the head. Then you have the abdomen, right, which we'll make smaller actually. So I'm at R to scale. And pull it a little bit closer. And then I'm going to hit Control D, W for the move tool back here. And I'm going to scale this bigger because this will be the thorax, like so. All right, so we're going to call that an ant body. I'm going to scale it a little bit this way too. All right, so now notice that my camera's kind of not hovering over it. So I'm going to F to frame, which will frame that piece. But now the camera is focused on that, okay? All right, so now I just need legs to come off of this. So to do that, legs would be more or less cylinders. So I'm going to create a cylinder, W and V. Bring this over here. Okay, and I'm going to R to to scale it kind of thin, and then I'm going to scale it longer. Okay, and I'm going to pull it over here. And I'm just going to rotate it with E and make it somewhat like a 45-degree angle. This is not going to be a great ant. It's just enough to call it an ant. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to Control D to make the next one, which actually they come out of here. So I should probably have it go over here. Put this over there too. Okay. And then we'll Control D to make another one. And I'm just going to kind of spread these out. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate them this way so that they come out at angles. Okay. Good. And I'm going to grab all three of these. I'm going to Control D. And I'm going to put them on the other side. And I'll just hit E to rotate. And I'm going to rotate it opposite direction. And pull it back over. And then I got to fix these rotations. Rotate that one in. And apparently over and in. And rotate this one also. Like that. There we go. Okay, so my ant has got some legs. Let's scale this down a little bit. I'm also going to scale a little bit longer. There we go. That is a fantastic looking ant. All right. Great. Okay. So that's a pretty good model, huh? Okay. So obviously the size is off. I'm not going to worry myself too much with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to call that good. He could probably have eyes and things, and depending on how much time you have, we could make this a little more complicated, but we're going to call that good as far as an ant is concerned. All right, so now what I need to do is after I got my modeling done, and it's most basic core, I need to add materials, okay? It's all gray right now. I want to make app color. So to do that, I'm just going to go to Windows, Rendering Editors, Hypershade. Okay, and this little window will pop up, okay? So I'm just going to try and make it a little bit smaller so I can still see other things. All right. Okay, and we'll also pull this one up. Good. All right. So basically what you can do is you can make a bunch of these different materials, and then each material will go onto an object, okay? Or multiple objects. So I'm going to go ahead and start by just doing the trees, since that was the first thing we made. So obviously this should be green. So I'm going to make what's called a blend. Click blend here, and it's going to make a blend, all right? And I'm going to go ahead and rename this. I'm going to call it tree foliage underscore MAT. So underscore MAT stands for material, all right? Because that's what it is. And all I got to do is I'm going to click on this color swatch, and I'm going to go ahead and choose a green color. Yay! That's good. Now the other thing I need to do is I need to take my reflectivity, because it's 50% reflective. Foliage is not reflective. And I'm going to take my specular color down to make it less shiny. All right, it'd be a small shine, but not like that much shine. Now I'm just going to apply it to my treetops here. Okay, so one way to do it is the middle mouse button click. You see how it turns to a plus symbol, and drop it. Middle mouse button click and drag and drop. Another way to do it is to click on these, right click over top of this, and hold, assign material selections. And now all three of those have that. Yay! Looking great. Now we need to do the tree trunk. Same thing. Make a blend. tree trunk underscore mat color, and I need to make a brown. Okay, there's a brown, and again, it's not going to be reflective at all, and it's also not shiny. So I'm taking the reflectivity and the shiny down, the shiny, and that is going to be okay. Okay, now I'm just going to middle mouse button, click and drag that here. Actually, I'm just going to do it this way. Grab all of these like that. Right click, assign material selection. Okay, so now those are all brown. Now let's go ahead and do the grass. So make another blend. Call this grass underscore mat. And I'm going to go ahead and make it a green. I'll make it a little bit of a bluer green and a little bit darker. Okay. And then reflectivity all the way down and specular just about off. And that looks good. So I'm just going to middle mouse button and drop that onto my grass. Now I have this sand here. Again, I'm going to make the sand is, we're going to make another blend. And I'm just going to call it sand underscore mat. So sand material. It's not going to be reflective and it's not going to be specular color. I'm going to choose my color here and I'll start with this brown and I'll bring it a little bit this way. Put a little bit like that. We'll say that's the sand color. Great. Take my sand, drop it on there. All right. Now the ant here. Same thing. Make another blend. Gonna call it ant underscore mat. I'm just gonna make it all the same color. So I'm gonna make it a red ant because that's a little bit easier to see. So I'll go like that. Okay. Like that. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag over the whole thing. And you can see it grabbed the ground too. So if I hit Control and click on the ground, it'll remove the ground from my selection. And then instead of dropping and dragging or right-clicking and assigning, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to right-click on over top of the object and go Assign Existing Material, Ant. And now the ant has it. Okay. Great. Okay. Now, I could get a little bit fancier with this. So, for instance, if, actually, you know what, we're going to call that good for now. All right. So we got that going on. That looks all great. The next step that you need to do is actually rig the models. Okay. So to do that, we're not going to do a real rigging. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this. I don't need this anymore. We're not going to do a real rigging because that would be like, that's a whole course. In fact, it actually is a course. You can sign up for it if you'd like. BCP 225, character rigging and animation. That's a whole course in itself. So we're actually just going to use hierarchy. We're just going to parent objects to other objects just to make it easier. Okay, so a good example of that is I would like it when I move my trunk that the top of the tree moves too, right? So what I can do is I can grab the top, shift select the bottom. So I select the top, hold shift, click the bottom, and hit P for parent. And now when I grab the bottom, it moves the top. And when I scale, it scales with it. Okay? Now if I grab the top, it doesn't move the other one because it is a child of this. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do that for all these trees. I'm going to this, shift select this, P, this, P. You select the parent second. This, then this, P, this, then this, P. And then I'm going to parent my mound here to the grass, P. All right. Now, what would be nice is to select everything and make everything that's not this spider and make that into a group as well. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the bottom trunks of all of these because those are the parents. So I'm select this, I'm holding shift, this, lastly the grass. And then I'm going to hit Control G. And what that does is it makes a group. All right. And I'm just going to name this group set underscore GRP. All right. Now it's probably a good time to save. So I'm going to go ahead and just do File, Save Scene As. And I'm just going to call this Ant Movie. It's going to be about as good as the Ant movie if you've seen it. Underscore V01. So that just means it's version 1. And hit Save As. All right. And I'm going to start the next section in the next video.